Smile. So we're recording, and I'm Ann Ford.
I'm Carol Klein.
And you know us.
Klein, Carol Klein, stirred, not shaken.
Right. So we're gonna share a little video from the leadership call that we had on Monday. Both Carol and I were so impressed with Leslie Hocker's presentation that we wanted it to
share with you.
Yeah. So you want to say a little about Leslie?
I do actually. I wanted to say that one of the things that I found so interesting was, even as an 8-year veteran of this business, I found her her point of view, her techniques, her suggestions, her verbiage. So can you mute?
I cannot. Can you please mute yourself if you just joined us?
Yeah,
that would be really
Joy
helpful.
Joy Love. Hi, Joy. So I found her verbiage extremely simple but very helpful and to the point. And what I think you'll really enjoy is take good notes. I'm really horrified that I hadn't taken good notes. And I recommend that you also think, even if you're not a new brand partner or you don't have any new brand partners right now, you'll really benefit from taking notes and using this in your own business. Think about just doing a little hard, a soft reset for your business. Think of people. She's going to tell you about names you can think of. And I thought of names that I hadn't thought of in 8 years. So I think we'll just start.
Great.
And at the end, we'll have some questions and answers, maybe a little discussion, but we're going to keep this as short as possible. We should be done by 6:30 our time.
So let me just share my screen here. I've got it queued up, and hopefully we can center it so it's a little more.
Will you see the whole face?
We will.
All right, here we go.
Thank you. I'm really excited because maybe you just recruited 2 or 3 people, but if you can get at least 2 of those 3 to do something, or you recruited 10, or you had however many new starts. So I want to talk to you about that, because I'm so excited about the direction that Neora is going. I'm so excited about the $49.95. Not that I always tell people the Premier Pack, it's the best value, and the company has that for a reason, to help us have success. So I also want you to understand that this conversation I'm going to have with you, it's a leadership conversation. And so here's the reality. I always ask, when I'm talking with the team, can I have a real friend conversation with you? So that's what I want to do today. And I want you to understand that 70% of the people, this is not just Neora. I mean, your percentage might be different, but in general, 70% of the people you bring on do nothing. And so a lot of people ask me, well, why is that? And Jim Rohn always comes to mind, which is don't take that class. Hopefully everybody's listened to that CD, because whenever someone asks me why, I always laugh and say, don't take that class, because I have people that come in for 500, 750, 1,000 and do nothing, just like I have people that came in at 20 and have done nothing. So here's a better question to ask yourself or to say to yourself. And so the power of questions, how you look at your business. So the better question to ask yourself is, how can I increase that percentage? What can I do? And there are some things you can do. And it's kind of funny, because Amber and I did not talk, except she just texts over the topics. And I have in my notes that it's important for you to understand that we're in the fear management business. So I want you to think back for a moment when you first started. And the conversation you probably had in your head, I don't know, can I do this? How many of you actually said to yourself, I don't want to have a party, I'm not the party girl or guy? I mean, all those things that we all said to ourselves, all those doubts, all those fears, all your new brand partners have those. And so the question then is, how do I help people overcome that fear? How can I do that, and how can I do it fast? And so this is a statistic that's important for you to know, because sometimes I think we lose sight of, yes, I want to get people to level 2, but I also want to get them their first check. I want to get them a belief check. Here's why. Our network marketing, relationship marketing, word of mouth, I like to call it share the love marketing, because we're sharing products that we love. What our model shows is that if people get just $1, if they make just $1 in their first 90 days, they'll stay another 90 days. Because how many of you, if you really look at your business, people come in, they're there, and then they're like, oh, I spent $500. Well, I mean, we're not hurting people, we're helping people get the best value for some amazing products. So if they spend $1,000 and do nothing, they still got good value. But your goal is to help them make at least $1. Okay, and so that takes a little bit of pressure off of you, and I'm going to give you some simple tips that we've been doing just to make that happen. And so because if they make just $1, they'll stay around for another 90 days. To give you an example, this was such a great reminder for me that we had a young woman that we brought on last month. I did with her what I'm going to share with you. And she called me, she goes, oh my gosh, I went in my back office and I have $28. I'm getting paid $28. You have her belief went through the roof. That was with one customer. And she's now gotten 3. That gave her the belief to keep going. And so here's my goal with a new brand partner, Ron as well. Our goal is to help people get a belief check so that they stay a little bit longer. They stay another 90 days, and then they stay another 90 days, and then they stay another 90 days. And so when we've got new brand partners, the very first thing that you want to do is you want to congratulate them. So number 1, congratulate the heck out of their decision, because remember, you're in the fear management business and you want to make them feel like, wow, I did something that's really special. And they did, because they just took a step. That's all it is. When they joined, they took a step to being in business for themselves. And, you know, I always laugh. So for those of you that don't know me, and a lot of new people on here, you know, I went to school and I got a degree, and a business degree. And I always laugh about that. They didn't teach me how to work for myself. They didn't teach me how to evaluate a business. I didn't even know what the word entrepreneur meant. So, but I figured out after I reached the executive level in corporate America, I need to do something different if I really want to get where I want to go, which meant I'm going to go start a business. So I started a small business. I didn't know any better. So you want to congratulate them about their decision, and you want to inoculate them about this business model. And why do I say that? Because they're going to come up against people that tell them, oh, it's one of those things, etc. So just know it's better to do this up front. So inoculate them by saying, you know, such a great decision. Congratulations. Tell me why you got started. I do want to know their purpose, because that's important when they're reaching out to people. And so that goes as part of the step 1 with the congratulations and, you know, why'd you join? 2 is inoculating people, letting them know, look, most people have no idea how big this business model is of word of mouth marketing, referral marketing. And they will, because they don't realize that almost actually it's last year was over $192 billion of goods and services moved through the model. People don't know that. And I just let that sink in. And then I tell them, you know, and of that, 60 billion was paid out to people just like you and me in commissions. That's 200 million a day. Now, I'm not telling you, you know, you're going to make millions. I'm telling you, this is a big business. And if people tell you you're crazy or it's one of those things, just know they just care about you, and they're just trying to protect you, and they just are ignorant. They don't know any better. And then laugh. It's just, and I always tell them you're going to have good days, bad days. And then, but what we do is simple. So number 3, what we do is simple. We get customers. It's simple. And then we build a team of people that get customers. And then we repeat. So think of it as wash, rinse, repeat. Very simple. And so then I want to get them their belief check. I'm actually not scheduling at that time for most of these people. If I have someone that has said to me, oh my gosh, can I get some people over? I love to party, etc., then yes, we're doing that right away. But for most of these people, A, they've been long distance. B, they spent $20 and I want to get them a check. I want to get them into activity. So all I'm doing with them is I'm on the phone with these people. That's all I did with last month was I got on the phone with these people individually. You know, this is a business of people helping people. If I'm going to bring somebody on, if I'm going to bring somebody into starting their Neora business, then they deserve to have me helping them. See, I left corporate America because it was win lose. If I won, and I was really successful, don't get me wrong, but if I won, someone else had to lose. I love this model because it's win-win. They win. When they win, I win. So when you have that perspective, I'm helping people win, then I win. And it's really simple. So all I did with them, I'm on the phone with them, actually would text it out and send it to them so they could copy and paste. And listen, some of these people, they are not, it's been interesting because some of them don't even know how to copy and paste a message. I mean, think about it. How many of you knew how to use a mobile app? I'm trying to keep it simple. In fact, I was laughing with somebody, it might have been, it was one of our leaders, and she said, I went back and looked at my notes from when I first got started several years ago, and the biggest thing you kept saying was, keep it simple, keep it simple, keep it simple. So apparently I've been doing this for a while, but I had to remind myself because we have so many great tools that you really have to keep it simple. So number 4 thing I'm doing. So I went through 1, congratulate the heck out of what they did, get their why, explain what, inoculate them, let them know they're going to have good days, bad days. Number 3, inoculate. I have this out of order in my notes. Explain what we do, wash, rinse, repeat, get customers. And then I'm helping them text. And this is all we did together. It doesn't take that long. I have them text. Well, first of all, I've asked them to, I do ask them, I want you to come to this call with some names. I want you to come. I'm not actually using the word list. I want you to come to this call with some names, like 5 to 10 people that love you, support you, care about you, and would help you no matter what. And then I want you to come with some names of people that you know need the product and could afford it, like 5 to 10 people. And then also, or there's some sharp people that you know you'd like to be in business with. Bring those to the call also. And so I actually just got somebody started Sunday, a week ago. Man, this month's flying. I just got somebody started Sunday afternoon. On Monday, we were on the phone together in the afternoon. She works very early in the morning, and we were doing this. And so all we did was text, hey, I need your help. Will you support me and become my customer one time for just 1 month? It would mean the world to me. Now, it's important to do this on the phone with people. I mean, you could give them that verbiage, but then like what the first or second, so we text that to everybody on her list. She only came with 4 people. Am I upset? No, that's 4 people. I don't know. I have no clue. Now, here's what I want you to understand. How the power of this, why this works. The person that we just enrolled Sunday had been in the business 3 years ago. I did drive over to San Antonio from Houston. That's 3.5, 4 hours. I did do a real results party with her. She did have people show up. And for whatever reason, I mean, I think I'm pretty good, but it happens to all of us. No one became a customer. Maybe I made it too complicated. I don't know. I had that whole conversation in my head, but it just happened. And then life happened to her. One of her daughters got sick. She fell out of the business several years ago. So I noticed she'd been liking a lot of the things that I'm doing on Facebook, following me. So I just reached out and said, hey, would you like to get started again? She said, yeah, I think I would. I'm sharing this story with you because, one, I launched her correctly, what I thought was correctly, and it was a misfire or a no launch. And it happens. I mean, I always tell people that the only difference between myself and Ron uh, and you, or you and the platinum that you're working with, is we just have had a lot more people say no. That's the difference. That's really the difference. And I'm not letting it affect my dream and my goal and my posture and my beliefs. So the exciting part was we did this texting on Monday. I was on the phone with her. One woman came back and said, so I text, hey, I need your help. I had her text this, will you support me, become my customer one time, just 1 month? It'd mean the world to me. This woman came back, she goes, is it? And it was the name of another company that's in skincare. So I thought it was funny. So that's why it's important to be on the phone with them, to do it with them. Because what happens is she goes, now what do I say? And I said, I'm not using I want to pique their interest. I want to get people, engaged. So I had her respond, no, because that was the answer. Is it this other company? No. So are you more interested in skincare? Because I'm leading people with questions. And the woman came back and said, no, I'm more interested in wellness. Who would have thought? I would have assumed skincare. You can't assume. And so then we responded to her by saying, well, our best seller is our patented brain health product. And I'm not using the word EHT. Why? Because someone who's never been involved in the or has never heard of EHT, you got to be careful with using shortened slang. So we just went back to her and said, our best sellers are EHT brain health. And then she came back and said, what's in it? At that point, I helped her send a video. Now, this particular person is totally technology challenged. So I actually went in my own Go prospect, told her what I was doing, sent her a video link, and then Wednesday, the person became a customer. So by Wednesday, she already had 2 customers out of the 4 and a third that's coming on board. So it does work. If they say skincare, I just say, hey, tell them our best seller is our Age IQ skincare that works on all issues. What issue are you not in love with? Because men, or what issue are you concerned with? Because that'll work for men as well, possibly. You don't even have to ask that question. You can just say, because in the beginning, all we had was the night cream, worked on all issues. And so that's what I did with all of these people. And yes, our percentages are off the chart. It's like 75% of the people we enrolled actually did something, and a few others are still in the process. And so Amber also asked me, how am I making a decision? Because, we had so many thousands of people come in. How do you decide who you're going to work with? Well, one, I am reaching out, looking. So here's what I'm doing. Simple, shortcut, kind of down and dirty. It's not a perfect science. But how I'm sorting through people is I'm going to the report center and I'm pulling up the New Start report. And then I am going over to the GQV column and I'm hitting that at the top. So it brings up who has the most volume. And then I'm scrolling down through all the people with the 500 down to where it's 400, 300, 200. And that's for the last 30 days. And the reason I'm doing that is because anyone that came in February 9th or forward, February 8th, the 30 days, February was a leap year, you figure that out. It'll show you anybody that came in, they still have a chance to get a free ticket to Get Real. So if they're only a couple of hundred away, 100 away, definitely you want to catch those people right away. And they can also earn the $50 bonus. And so those are things to keep in mind, because it's about helping people win. You imagine if someone's excited about $28, getting an extra $50, it just helps their belief. Then I'm also looking in that report at active PCs. So maybe they have 1, and then definitely, or 2, then I want to help them get their 3. And then I'm going back to the same report and looking at it for 60 days. Because you want to make sure that these people, if they have any activity that they are getting, they're becoming eligible for Neora Gives Back, because they have their first full month with 30 days to do that. So that's, I mean, it's not a perfect science, because some people place people under people with that GQV. You guys, you know, just take a look and go through there. It's a starting place. And I am doing Zooms if I've got organizations. So for those of you with bigger organizations, I'm doing Zooms, not with the whole team. You know, yes, you could do that, but then individually with those organizations, with all the leaders in between. You know, I'm not working with their people without them on there. All the leaders in between, and doing a Zoom with all of the new starts under specific. Say maybe someone has 5 or 10. Then doing that. And so it's really about slowing down to go fast. It's about looking for those that are willing to run, and you have to put the work and the time in, and always keeping in mind that it's a business of people helping people. That's what we do. It's a business of people helping people. And I want all of you to hopefully write this down in your notes, because I help people understand that it's a business of leveraging and compounding. Those are 2 wealth principles that they don't teach us in school. They teach the wealthy, but leveraging and compounding. And so there's actually just 2 fundamental things that we leverage and compound. 1, tools and events. 2 is events. So tools and events, tools and events, tools and events. The tools, pictures. So I did a Zoom yesterday for a group. That was their assignment. They didn't have any before and after pictures, new people in their phone. So I want to make sure that people are armed with that as a tool, because when people say, oh, that's not real, well, then new people can say, I don't know. All I know is, look at this picture. And I don't know. All I know is, look at this picture. Just keeping it simple. And so you've got pictures, the videos that we have in Go Prospect, which are high quality, so amazing, and 3-way calls or 3-way messenger, Facebook chats. I mean, and then the events, or if you're Real Results Party, and oh, by the way, for those people on the team, because I'm not doing, for me, I'm not doing the party right away. I want to get them customers right away. Now, I can say, hey, let's have a get together and invite those people that said they'd become your customers, so they can play with, touch, experience the other products, and then they can bring somebody. And it just increases your odds of having a successful party, because now the pressure's off. The person's already become a customer. Now you're inviting them to a get together. They can experience more and add to. When I was in Richmond and in Rhode Island, this couple of weeks ago, I experienced that. They invite all of their customers to every party they have, and I watched people add products to their order. They didn't become brand partners, but they added more products, or they gave credibility to people that became brand partners as a result of that. That business has exploded. So you've got tools and events, you've got pictures, videos, 3-way calls, Real Results Party or a market party, regionals, and conference. That's all we have. And so just in closing, sorry, Amber, it's a lot in 15 minutes. I want you to keep in mind as a leader that when you haven't hit your goal, or you haven't hit the rank that you wanted, or you fell back a rank, here's what you've got to tell yourself. There's something that I haven't learned yet, or there's something that I haven't experienced yet for me to be at that goal or that rank. See, that's a whole lot better than you telling yourself, I suck, what's wrong with me, I can't get there. Because perspective in this business is everything. And if you have that perspective of telling yourself, okay, there's something else I need to learn, there's something else I need to experience to get where I want to go, then you'll manage your own emotions. Because it's a business, a business for yourself, you're not by yourself, but this is your perspective to help you manage your own emotions. And I'm going to say this to you, that perspective will help you stay in the game. It'll help you build a steady foundation. It'll help you not have to work the next 10 years like you did the first 10 years. And yes, I said 10 years to really learn, to get good, to be your best at what you're doing. So be consistent and persistent, have fun, and ask yourself this question. Am I better today than I was yesterday? It's really all about the power of questions. And then when you keep doing that, then you'll stay in the game long enough to recruit people like the other platinums in the company. And that's really what it's all about. So staying in the game and having fun. So Amber, back to you.
Right. That's what we've got from Leslie Hocker, who's been in the business multiple
Forever.
decades. So she's not top of the company for no reason. She, you know, and the main takeaway for me is keep it simple. You know, keep it simple. We have so many bells and whistles, so many details in our back office, for instance. And I say to a new person, I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So that's why we need to be in close communication so that I can just give you one step at a time.
I just want to tell a brief story about inoculation. I love congratulate, inoculate, help them do what they do, tell them what we do, and then help them do it. And when I first started, the first 3 people I told, they shall remain nameless, but they know who they are. The first person put their hands up like this and said, no way. The second person said, no one makes money in those things. And the third person said, I'm not interested, and please don't call my wife because she's not interested either. All 3 of those within a month became the top of at that point we had 3 legs, and we had years of doing the business together. But if I had let that stop me, that my first 3 friends were so negative, I wouldn't have made so much income and had such an amazing experience. So the inoculation part really hit home for me. So we're at the 6:27 mark. We've been on the phone. I'm happy to take 1 or 2 questions.
Sure.
If you'd like, you can unmute your phone and ask a question, or we can just say goodbye and whatever you want to do. Does anybody have any questions? You can just unmute your phone and speak about what you heard tonight. Anyone?
Yep. Hi.
Hi, Susanna.
Hi. I imagined that there was going to be a different text to those 3 different groups of people, but it's just the same text.
No, that's a really good question. I don't know if that's the question. That's, you know, I thought about that. You think there'd be this different? I would put I would have the first text that she talked about for your friends who will do anything to help you out no matter what.
Yeah. I wondered whether I would kept expecting for her to come back and say what the text would be for the next group and the next group, because I don't know. I thought that was what it's going to be.
I think she forgot.
Yeah, I think if you have somebody that you're close to and they're like, you know, super tight with you talk to them all the time, and you may know a reason why they would appreciate another stream of income, you can definitely bring that up. This may be a way for you to fire the boss that you want to fire. Yeah, this may be a way for you not have to work as a bartender or whatever it might be. This may be a way for you to send Johnny to the school you want to send him to. You can mention that, but if you do, be sure to say, I have no idea if it's for you or not, but I'd love to show it to you. I'm excited about it.
I think you could use that text for the first 2 groups, people who you know would like the product and need it, and people who would support you no matter what. Sharp people, it depends. I'm actually going to reach out to Leslie and see if she has the text for different, and I'll let you know. I'll post it on the page. But I think that the point is to make it really simple, you know, and I think Anne's verbiage was good. I'm doing something new. I thought of you immediately. Actually, we had Lise Ansley once did a beautiful training about, think of 3 adjectives about that sharp person. You're fun, you're great with people, you
Everybody loves you.
Yeah, you're organized, whatever it is. Yeah, everybody loves you. You're, you know, and when I started this business, they told us to think of people we want to be in business with, and you were the first person on my list, or you're one of the top 5 people on my list. I don't know if this is for you or not, but let's talk. I would love to have you, you know, hear about it.
I'd love to get your feedback.
That's a great question. I never thought of it, but Susanna, you're sharp as a whip.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I'll also find out if she has any other texts, so I'll get back to you on that. Anybody? Thank you, Susanna. Anybody else? Anybody have any questions about what they heard, didn't understand, or anything like that? Otherwise, I thought it was pretty self-explanatory. Did you get something out of that? Thumbs up.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Joy.
Hi. No, I'm so glad you posted this and that I got on, because it just took it down to the simplistic things. And I think you're right. I think there's so much going, and so I think we forget, like, keep it simple. You know, what is that? You know, keep it simple, stupid, or, you know, kind of thing. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, and sometimes we just make it so much more than it is. So I'm very grateful, and it's good for me. So thanks.
You're welcome. I think we're done. Unless there's anybody else.
Please, if you have a question, your question is everybody's question. So just unmute yourself and jump in. Otherwise, we'll wait like 1 more minute to see.
I can't even read all my notes right now, but you're going to post this again. So I can go over and really write down word for word what she said, just to make it really simple.
Yes.
Okay. Super. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for being on, everybody.
Awesome.
It really was. We both got excited about it. I was like, this is something that everybody can do.
I got more out of it the second time.
I think the more you're in this business and the more you practice, you know, bringing in new people, the more simple you become because simple works, you know, and being with them, you know, because her point about the win-win, if they win, you win. You know, so, you know, this is a business of being in business for yourself, but not by yourself. I'm glad that she repeated that as well. So thank you, everyone, for being on today. I am going to post this if the technology gods are smiling and they let me post it on YouTube. Never know. But have a beautiful evening, and we love you, and we're here for you. Talk soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Thanks. Good night.
Pleasure.
Bye, everybody.